Hello there, my name is Alexander Rosso and welcome to my latest episode of Arc for Dummies. In this episode I'm going to be teaching you how to take your little thatch hut and turning that into a wooden shack. By doing this you're upgrading to the next level, and I'm going to teach you how to use a few other shapes so your building doesn't have to be just a box anymore. After I've done that, I'm going to quickly touch on like your next stage of crafting, because up until now we've always been crafting on ourselves. Going to teach you about your smithy bench and what you need to do to get there. And we'll be building our first and last upgrade to our stone hatchet and our stone pickaxe. That being said, let's get started. So here is our thatch hut. You'll notice I've already replaced some parts with wood. That's because I didn't want to waste your time watching me rebuild what you've already seen. So I built everything of the parts you've already seen, as in the wooden walls and doors and the foundations and some of your flat ceilings. Now I'm going to show you you get windows. This is started in wood. You don't get windows in thatch. They're a lot more aesthetically pleasing. The downside to windows is they're not great PvP wise, because hey, I can see Dave, I can kill him. So if you're not in the base and you still want windows, I would suggest putting in too close to it. There we go. Putting in some actual windows. That way it's blocked off when you're not around. Also, you'll see I've still got these two thatch walls here. That's because I'm going to replace them with these triangle shapes. Now you'll see right there, it's like a green color. That's showing you that the wood is facing on the outside. If it was like a bluey green sort of color, that means you're looking at the inside of the wall. Helps you sometimes place, because dealing with arc snap points can sometimes be tricky. You'll notice that I'm putting it where the thatch is. If I place this, it gets rid of that thatch structure. It also gives me some of those mats back. Now, with the triangle pieces, you get left and right. So you want to make sure you use the right ones in the right places. So, right there, we've got like our little wooden hut shape. You'll see inside I've already done the other side. Now, you've got things called sloped ceilings now, and you can place them attached to that triangle piece. We'll do them both sides. And now if we head out, I'll open these windows for us, and if we take a look at our little hut, boom. There you go, it's already looking a lot nicer. I mean, our thatch hut, it did the job, but it didn't really look the part. This actually looks like a dwelling, especially suiting our location. Right, as I said, after I'd done this, I was going to teach you about your smithy bench. Now, I have gone already ahead and built the items you need, but you would have already unlocked mortar and pestle. We used that to make our narcotics, so we could tame our parasaur. But when we did that, I just placed the mortar and pestle on the floor. Now, depending on your server, you may or may not want to do this. I like doing this because it looks nicer and it kind of makes the mortar and pestle its own crafting station instead of just being that bowl on the floor. But if you've got to be a bit more careful with your own ground points, you may choose not to do this. I like to build a wooden table, and I place the wooden table. Dave, you are severely in the way. Move it. And then after that, I'll be placing my mortar and pestle on that table. Now you can actually place a few of these on the table, and that's not a bad idea. I quite often do that. I like to have one mortar and pestle for narcotics, one for spark powder, one for gunpowder. You can make cement paste as well, but I'll be touching on how to get cement paste in a couple of different ways in a later video, because that is a probably one of the most annoying resources to gather, I find, even more annoying than metal. Right, once you got that, so you could make yourself some spark powder in that. The reason you want spark powder is you use that instead of wood, it burns longer. And you need that to make metal, but you also need something else to make metal, and that is a refining forge. A refining forge is made of stone, hide, and wood. Your basic mats that you find around anyway at this point. Now, the refining forge, as I said before, you place spark powder. See if I've got any. Yep, spark powder in it. And have I got any? Yes, and raw metal. Now, when you place these in here, like the raw metal as well as the spark powder, you can light the fire. Now, over time, that raw metal is going to smelt into something called metal ingots, which I've got a few here. Now, you need these metal ingots because they're one of the ingredients to make your smithy bench. Metal ingots are a incredibly valuable item. You'll be using them from now on constantly. In fact, that's not too far from now, you're going to be trying to think about better ways to get metal. At the moment, we've just been finding it randomly in rocks. That's not the best way of getting it, and I will be showing you a better way of getting that in this video, but an even better way than that later on when you have access to flying tames. But for the moment, I can't fly. I don't have a Pteranodon or an Argentavis or any other flying dinosaur. So I'm going to be using a different method to get the metal I need. But I've got metal smelting. I actually have some metal on me already. So if I put this metal, some hide and this wood in here, well, that's probably not enough wood, but I think I've got some more lying around. You can go to weapons, and if you go to melee, you'll find that you would have unlocked by now, if you've unlocked the smithy bench, a metal pick and a metal hatchet. These will be replacing your stone pick and stone hatchet. They have got a considerable more amount of health. They also have a higher chance of picking up rarer materials like metal. So you want to get these as fast as you can. They're one of the most useful tools you'll have. So now I've got the metal pick, I'm going to show you a better way of getting some metal. So you may have found you get it from any old rock at the moment. Like those big ones over there, you might get the odd piece of metal. But these slightly smoother rocks, these are called river rocks. Now, although they don't get you lots of metal, they do get you more metal than the other larger rocks. So for now, you may want to sort of stock up on a bit of metal from these rocks. Now, you don't need tons at the moment, and I wouldn't say go out and get tons by constantly mining these rocks. It's not a very efficient way of doing it. But get what you can, what you need for now, which, I say, you want to build yourself a metal pick and metal hatchet. It doesn't hurt to have a couple, so if it does break on you while you're out, because unlike the stone pick and hatchet, you can't repair it on you. You do have to repair it at a smithy bench. It's always a good idea to have a couple to hand. So there you go. That is our video for the day. We've upgraded our thatch hut. We turned it into a wooden shack. I've shown you the beginning stages of your crafting benches, and I've explained a little bit on your metal. So we've gone now from having your simple caveman wooden stone tools to now starting to get some metal tools. So now is the time for you to stop being a bob. In case you don't know what a bob is, I'll be touching on that in my next video. Goodbye.